The views and opinions expressed on this show are that of that host whom I plan on killing and eating tonight after the show. This show contains strong language, please be advised. In fact, I should eat all these fuckers in here.
Well, here we are again, kiddies, for another much-needed ear injection of open-air sonar. And according to the Ramones from Rock and Roll High School, definitely not for your pet rats. So keep them away from the stereo, okay? So before we get into the show, I did want to read you an email that I got from Glenn in Washington State. And, just so you know, here at Open Air Sonar, we receive good and bad emails, and I try to get to them all. So anyway, Glenn goes on to write, I liked your show on your trip through metal. What I did not like was the way you referred to Metallica, painting them as sellouts. They are my favorite band, but I guess I cannot expect anything else from some liberal asshat from California. Fuck you, signed Glenn. All right, Glenn, so first off, I guess you didn't even listen to the disclaimer in the first of the show. It says, my opinions. You got it? And second, what does my political affiliation have to do with the way I see or interpret the music that I like and listen to? Absolutely nothing. So I think you're just bored, brother. Maybe it's because you no longer have your golden calf to worship. So stop huffing rubber cement, brother, and keep your goddamn politics off my show. With that kind of attitude, man, maybe we might hire you for the next disclaimer, So, anyway, take care, Glenn, and, get some anger management, bro, because I think you fucking need it. So, anyway, back to the show. So, we're going to start off with M-U-S-I-C-K, or how it's portrayed in the music press, the world of post-punk. Yes, boys and girls, we are going to dive into the bands that brought us what real rock feels like. The smell, the taste, the size. In the late 70s, I think these bands were abandoning the raw simplicity of the punk movement for a more, avant-garde feel. But still, it kept the raw energy of, punk rock. So to start off, I'm going to play you a song from a band called Warsaw, who actually ended up changing their name to, yes, you got it, ladies and gentlemen, Joy Division. So this is Warsaw with The Drawback. Stick with us. This is Open Air Sonar.
Seen the troubles and the evils of this world. I've seen the stretches between godliness and sin. I've heard the promise and confessions of true faith, and hypocrisy that always lies within. And they left it for you, all of this for you. And they left it for you, all of this for you. I've seen the products and the other world and ways. I've
That was the 1977 release, The Drawback, by the band Warsaw, who actually wound up eventually becoming Joy Division. Sorry about the pops and cracks, folks, but I took that song from one of my record. I'm definitely in need of new cartridges, but anyway, those boys were the true pioneers of the post-punk movement. And even Pete Shelley from the Buzzcocks once suggested that their name be Stiff Kittens. But the band settled on Warsaw, a veiled reference to the David Bowie song Warzawa. But to avoid confusion with the London-based punk band Warsaw Pact, they changed their name to Joy Division. And if you were listening to the first episode of Open Air Sonar, we all know where that name came from. Anyway, moving on. So, this next band, another band from London, were considered to be the definite art punk with their 1977 release of Pink Flag, a staple of, post-punk. But so this is Ex-Lion Tamer, and you are listening to Open Air Sonar. Stick with us. We'll talk about it when we come back.
There's great danger for the loneliest stranger in town. No silver bullets, that do split the scene. Next week will solve your problems. But now, his fingers holding the line. The milk bottles stand empty. Take the TV set. There's great danger. A hammer's kick will save the law. The cloak of justice. Barbarians quick I say. That's it for soldiers of limbs. But now, his fingers holding the line. The models stand empty. Take me to your TV set. Take me to your TV set. Take me to your TV set. Take me to your TV set.
So the first time, I actually came across this band Wire, I was in Salt Lake City. And it goes, it was around 91, I think. And I went to this club. I think at the time it was called Confetti, but I can't be sure. It was a really long time ago. But, when you walked into this place, or at least up to it, the smell of clove cigarettes just like burned your eyeballs, man. It lingered. But the goth movement was heavy in there, man. And, God, goth women always were like the most beautiful women in the world to me. I don't know what. But anyway, they're playing this killer music in there, man. Everyone's dancing. Everyone's having a good time, and I love that place. Anyway, anyone from Salt Lake City, let me know if that place is still there. But, they're playing great stuff in there, like Susie and the Banshees, to our next band that I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand up and give a round of applause. I give you the Sisters of Mercy from faraway Leeds. So Gary Max and Andrew Eldritch, they had this strong desire to hear themselves on the radio, and on that day the sisters were born. So here is the Sisters of Mercy with this corrosion from their 1987 release of Floodland. Come back and we will pull apart the mangled web of the Sisters of Mercy. This is Open Air Sonar. So the sisters, took their name from the 1971 film Macabre and Miss Miller, which featured the Leonard Cohen song Sisters of Mercy, because they stated, calling ourselves Captain of Industry wouldn't have been as funny. Although a great band, they had a lot of problems. First with their label, East West Records, with whom they protested against. They wanted out of their contract and then, eventually let go. And then a dispute between Marks and Eldritch, and with Eldritch starting another band called the Sisterhood. So in the end, they ceased recording in the early '90s, and mainly just a tour act now, playing those same old songs. But overall, I've always loved the Sisters of Mercy. But don't get me wrong, guys. So please, by all means, make another goddamn album and stop the silliness. But anyway, on to our fourth band before the break, ladies and gentlemen. So this next song I'm going to play for you, it's oh, excuse me, oh my god, is not the most politically correct song, but hey, it's got heart, and I guess if it would have came out on the radio nowadays, would probably, it would have probably been protested against. But anyway, so here is The Cure with Killing an Arab from their Standing on the Beach singles. Enjoy. So, Killing an Arab is actually the first single by The Cure, recorded at the same time as their first LP in the UK, Three Imaginary Boys, from 1979. But not included on the album. However, it was included on the band's first US album, Boys Don't Cry, in 1980. Robert Smith had said that the song was a short, poetic attempt at condensing my impression of key moments in the 1942 novel The Stranger by Albert Camus. The lyrics describe a shooting on a beach, in which the Arab of the title is killed by the song's narrator. In Camus's story, the protagonist, Mersault, shoots an Arab on the beach. Overwhelmed by his surroundings, Mersault is condemned for his honesty about his feelings. He's considered an outsider or stranger because he refuses to lie and doesn't play the game. But, upon release, Melody Maker compared the song to Hong Kong Garden by Susie and the Banshees, but Arabs conjure up ugly, edginess through a Moorish flavor guitar pattern. But the track did cause controversy, since it has been, widely viewed as promoting violence against Arabs in the U.S. The first compilation of the single, Standing on a Beach, was packaged with a sticker advising against racist usage of the song after a student DJ on WPRB Princeton provided an exaggerated talk-up prior to playing the record in October of 1986. So, Smith and Elektra requested that the radio stations discontinue airing the song and saw the sticker as a compromise, to prevent, having to pull the album from sale entirely. But, it saw controversy again during the Persian Gulf War and following the September 11th attacks. Killing an Arab was the only single from the Three Imaginary Boys era not to be included on the album's 2004 remaster. But, it was a great song. And actually in 2005, the song was revived, but Robert Smith, he changed the lyric from killing an Arab to kissing an Arab. But he added a whole new opening verse when the band performed, at the Royal Albert Hall in London on April 1st, 2006. But anyway, c'est la vie. I've always liked The Cure, but like they said in, what was that dumb movie, Nick and Nora's Playlist, she asked, what are they the curing? But anyway, that's one of those dumbass questions. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a break right now and listen to some fucked up ads from the past, the future, the present, who the fuck knows. But please, by all means, stick with me because we still got a lot of ground to cover in this world of post-punk. So don't go anywhere. This is Open Air Sonar. I am Tony, and hey, what else you got to do on a Saturday night? Come back.
Made from real fresh lemons? Oh yes, real lemon tastes just like real fresh lemons. Very good, very easy to use. You can use real lemon wherever you use fresh lemons. In cooking and baking, or many places. Can even use to make nice lemon pie. That's lemon. Yes, lemon. Try real lemon wherever you use fresh lemons.
Play the provincial, it's fabulous fun. You'll love that. 1,000 surprises every week to be won.
Our $5 chicken, and it's good for 5 tries.
Friday could be your day, good luck could come your way. Play the provincial, the weekly provincial. Yes, sir.
500,000 is the weekly grand prize.
You'll love it.
Instant prizes up to $5 grand in size.
So when you need a ticket, better get one today.
For the provincial lottery.
You don't need a crystal ball to know that a guaranteed $1,000 a month for life would let you enjoy some of the things you've always wanted to do. Buy a Cash for Life lottery ticket. You could win $1,500 or $250 a month for life, or one of more than 16,000 cash prizes. For $2, you get a chance for a lifetime of security.
It's a Cash for Life lottery.
Support the Ontario Association for the Mentally Retarded and win for life.
This is Paul Nathan at the Arts, Crafts, Hobbies Building and Exhibition Place. For the last time this year, 48 of Montreal and Toronto's leading fur manufacturers are assembling their entire collections for the largest end-of-season fur clearance ever held. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of designer furs, including such prestigious names as Lanvin, Canada Majestic, and Black Lamont. This luxurious mink coat worth $3,200 at Exhibition Place, only $595, or on-the-spot financing and wear at home for just $55 a month. February the 14th to 17th in the Arts, Crafts, Hobbies Building at Exhibition Place.
Promotional consideration provided by Totes. When the weather turns bad, turn to Totes. Rain rolls right off. Totes hats and caps that you can take along anywhere to stay warm and dry.
Thanks very much. Good night. When my husband came home and I told him there was less than 30 minutes until delivery, he looked faint. And then when I told him we were having twins, he did. Oh. Come on, pizza, pizza, darling. Pizza, pizza twins, just the way you like them. You know, having a husband is almost like having a baby.
Pizza, pizza, 967-1111, still the one. From the early days of color TV, the challenge was to get the world's best color. Now, Toshiba brings you the world's first flat square picture tube, the FST Blackstripe, only from Toshiba. Colors up to 18% more accurate than conventional tubes. So reliable, the FST has the longest comprehensive warranty in Canada, 50 months. Add our top-rated VCR, the BM32, for color that sings. Toshiba.
Boy, you sure know how to throw a party.
Well, it's on the wrist.
Hi, I just moved in next door. May I blow a cup of golden? Thanks.
On my watch?
Do you swim a lot?
Oh, just enough to keep from drowning. So, you're an old friend of Bob's.
Oh, sure. We go back, must be an hour.
What a great way to open a party.
All you gotta say is golden.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Open Air Sonar. We are halfway through our journey of what the fuck's sake is that goddamn song from post-punk. Anyway, okay, boys and girls, I have a treat for you, okay? So keep one hand free. A very special guest with us today, the lovely, the talented, the proprietor of 6 Degrees of a Belly Dancer, Miss Shasha. How we doing, girl?
Good, thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Yep.
So, anyway, we've been, jabbing about post-punk, and I remember when you first came to Carbon High School, I swear to God, I was like, oh my God, it's Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees, man. I could not believe it.
Oh my gosh, really?
With your hair and, the really dark makeup, it was fucking rad. But anyway, why don't you go ahead and tell these fucking nerds what our next song is going to be.
Sure. Yep. It is going to be Susie and the Banshees, Spellbound, from the 1981 release, Juju.
All right. You guys stick around with me, okay? Because when we come back, me and Shasha are going to tear this song apart, all right? Yeah. You're listening to Open Air Sonar.
From the cradle bars comes a beckoning voice that sends you spinning. You have no choice. Choice, you hear
All right, everybody, that was Susie and the Banshees with Spellbound from their 1981 release, Juju. And we are here with my friend, your friend, everybody's friend, Miss Shasha Santasteban from 6 Degrees of a Belly Dancer. How you doing, kid? You know what? I tried to warn you. You know, I tried to tell her, you know, get her shit and go, man, because my listeners can be vile. So.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were warning your listeners about me.
I was. Oh no, I'm trying to save you
Other
from
way
them.
around. Oh, okay.
I'm trying to save you from them, man. They're fucking crazy. But but anyway, she stuck around, guys, and she's gonna duke it out with me on this next song here. So Susie and the Banshees, you know, Spellbound. I mean, I think, you know, with Kaleidoscope and everything, you know, they were still considered pretty punk, and you know, they with Juju, they kind of came into their own, especially with this post-punk phase and looking at music in a more darker aspect. But the one thing that I think really, you know, hit it off for them, you know, especially to get away from that punk, was that, you know, sonic experiment that they did, and mainly Susie Sue's style, I think, sold it for her, man. I really do.
I think when I started really listening to Susie, she had like matured from that punk stage, and I was kind of more of her earlier, more wild stuff, and I didn't listen too much of her newer stuff because she was kind of like a female Robert Smith sort of thing.
Right.
My friend turned me on to that, but I feel like I missed out on that. I really like it when in a band like starts to explore and matures and starts to get a little better, maybe.
But you know, I think it really, like when she came out, she really showed, you know, a whole generation of people, especially women in particular, that hey, you can look like this and still be cool as fuck, you know. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I mean, when I first met you, when you came to our high school, you know, and you had the hair, and, you know, like half of your head shaved, you know, all the dark makeup, man, I fucking loved it. I was like, oh my God, I got to be friends with her.
Your first thought went there, and that's really ironic because I really didn't listen to her.
No?
You know, I was a teenager who was angry, full of chaos. I liked more of the industrial, harder, faster. That's why I feel like I missed out with Susie, because I think I wasn't even listening to that music when she was at that stage. But when I did listen to her, she was starting. You know, I'm a big fan of AFI,
okay.
And I feel like I grew with them, and you know, they get matured, and definitely a different change in the music.
Right.
Sometimes they have to like listen to it a few times to get used to it, and I feel like they were at this stage where she was like, you know, like Peter Murphy.
Oh, dude, definitely.
Bauhaus,
I mean,
you know, they get with the Cuts You Up. I mean, that's not like Bauhaus. He like kind of matured and started getting a little bit more emotional. I mean, yeah, he was emotional.
Right. I don't know. Maybe Bauhaus was trying to rip off Sisters of Mercy. I don't know, but
I love Sisters of Mercy.
Doesn't everybody?
Well, but yeah, they do.
Well, then you should know what? You should have joined me for my Sisters of Mercy on the first half. They are going to be. Dude.
I can't wait to hear.
The song I picked is great. I did talk about the sisters.
I can't wait to hear which one you picked.
Yeah, they just irritated me so bad, you know.
They did.
Well, because you know they come out with 3 great albums, and then the 2 main guys get into a fight. They split up, and then they say, "Okay, there's no more Sisters of Mercy." You know, we're done. You know, and then
that's the love. I mean, that's
and now they just tour. They don't make any albums. They just tour and play those same hashed ass songs over and over. So it's, you know,
sounds like a lot of bands that go around. Touring.
But, you know, and I really loved this album in particular, especially Spellbound from Susie, because you know it was the first, you know, real true album with John McGeoch. You know, the guy who played for the Buzzcocks. He left the Buzzcocks and went to Susie and the Banshees. He played for Magazine. He played for PIL. And, you know, he was just a really interesting guy. And actually, most of the information I've been able to find on him is, like, nil. I mean, he died in 2004, you know.
Is he the creativeness behind the band? Is he the songwriter?
Well, no, he was the guitarist, but he was really...
Does he write the songs?
Yeah, he was really innovative in the way he played his guitar and the way that he made his guitar make sounds. Like he would take some of his foot pedals and attach them to his microphone so he could work them by hand while he's playing. You know,
And we love that stuff.
Right. So yeah, he was a really mysterious guy. He died in his sleep in 2004 at the age of 48.
Really?
Yeah,
In
he
his
played.
sleep.
Yeah, and
Well,
they
he did
still
an autopsy on that?
Yeah, right. Well, his family still won't release the reason why he died, but he was a pretty heavy alcoholic. You know, he was, he did all kinds of nasty stuff. But anyway, Sasha, I want to thank you for joining us today for my OAS, and I know my listeners are glued ooey bluey to their stereos right now, just waiting for your last words.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure your listeners love your show. I love your show. We can't wait to hear what you're going to play next. Out of all of the choices you have, we're like, what will he pick?
Awesome. Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let you pick this next song that we've got coming up, and then you can say goodbye to my listeners, and we will talk again. So, what is that song?
How about Bauhaus with Bela Lugosi's Dead?
Oh, one of my favorites. I can't wait. All right, guys, this is Open Air Sonar. We've been chatting with Shasha from 6 Degrees of a Belly Dancer.
Bye-bye.
And this is Bauhaus with Bela Lugosi's Dead.
I'm dead.
White on white, translucent black capes, back on the rack. Bela Lugosi's dead, the bats have left the bell tower. The victims have been bled, red velvet lines, the black box. Bela Lugosi's dead. Bela Lugosi's dead. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. The Virgin O'Brien. Bela Lugos is dead. Bela Lugos is dead. Bela Lugos is dead. Undead, undead, undead. Undead, undead, undead.
That was the 1979 release of Bela Lugosi's Dead by Bauhaus. It was actually released August 6th of 79, and actually is what's really cool about that song is they actually did it in a single take during a 6-hour session at Beck Studios. It was the first thing that they recorded together as a band, and it pretty much defined what goth music is about. It's roundly established by goth historians as the first true record in the genre. For comparison's sake, goth icons The Cure and Susie and the Banshees were certainly releasing records at the same time, but Bauhaus delivered its premiere single. The aforementioned D-bands didn't go full-on goth until 80, 81. But the song also alt rock masterworks. Bela Lugosi's Dead. 30 years, man. I mean, it's just one of those songs that just kind of grabbed you by the boo-boo. So, but anyway, and then, of course, the Haskins brothers and, Peter Murphy and Ash, they all went their separate ways. Peter Murphy went and did his thing, and the Haskins and Ash went and did Lovin' Rockets. And so without Bauhaus, we wouldn't have Lovin' Rockets. What do you know? Anyway, you're listening to Open Air Sonar. Our next band here, guys, we're almost there. We're almost to the edge here. But I've got two bands here that I'm going to lay out for you. The first one that we're going to dive into is a couple of boys from Ireland, U2. So this is I Will Follow from the 1981 release, Boy. Oh, wait, sorry. No, 1980. Oh, my God. See, I've been smoking weed already today, and it's getting out of hand. So this is I Will Follow from U2 from 1980's Boy. Keep with us.
Stay
So for that track, I thought I would give you guys the live cut from Red Rocks, blah. But which anyway, man, fucking speaks for itself. I think if there's any show in history or the world, and time and money or anything wasn't a factor, I think that would have been the show that I would just love to have been in. I've always loved U2. I've always followed them through everything. But anyway, that was I Will Follow from the 1980 release of Boy. Bono actually wrote the song as a tribute to his mother, who unfortunately passed away when he was just 14 years old. They play it at all their live shows. It's like the one song that they always throw into their gig. But it's one of my favorites. It was also one of my favorites when it made its appearance in the film Last American Virgin. But anyway, moving on, kiddies. We are now to the band that I consider to be the kings of the post-punk movement and really one of my all-time favorite bands of all time. This is Killing Joke, and this is Pilgrimage from the 1996 release Democracy. Come back and let's pull the legs off this fucking thing. So that was Killing Joke with Pilgrimage from their 1996 release of Democracy, their follow-up album to the Pandemonium album, which was just fucking great. And, after the Pandemonium tour, Jazz Coleman went to Sedona to, decompress from, touring and, how you do. And he was inspired from, these Native American tribes and, also Maui's from when he, moved to New Zealand. And I think this album really has a lot of that in it. But, Bassist Youth had free reign on this one, and, which Jazz did not like, apparently. And apparently he didn't even like the album, which I don't know why. It's amazing. But so unfortunately, they ended up taking a hiatus, and in 2003, they released the self-titled Yellow album, which was amazing in itself. It featured Dave Grohl on drums, and, it was just amazing. But if you get out there, please buy those records by all means. And so I guess, the post-punk era was defined by genocide in Cambodia, civil wars in Central America, the troubles in Northern Ireland, pollution, unemployment. And I think people were screaming for change. Disco was dying, rock was boring. Everybody needed something new. Excuse me again. But and I think the best way I can describe this is never use the word normally. Try and keep that out of your sentences, okay? Because I think that's what the era of post-punk was trying to tell us, okay? So this show is dedicated to the memory of the late, great Paul Raven, who passed away in 2007. But anyway, kiddies, I'm going to go ahead and cut out now with the 1991 release of the Stone Roses' I Want to Be Adored, which Q Magazine rated its number 32 in its greatest songs of all time out of 100. So way to go there, Stone Roses. So take care, kids. Remember to spade and neuter your gimps and eat your cereal with a fork. Take care, all.